Two bags are sitting in front of you. Bag A is handmade, premium leather, beautiful stitching. It costs $100. Bag B looks almost identical. Similar materials, similar size. It costs $10,000. Now, here's the strange part. If Hermes announced tomorrow that every Birkin bag would sell for $99, sales would collapse, the waiting lists would vanish, and the desire, that would evaporate almost overnight. That should make no sense, but it makes perfect sense once you understand what is actually being sold. Because here's the truth nobody in the luxury industry wants you to say out loud. The bag was never the product. Every year, millions of people spend extraordinary amounts of money on things that are, by any functional measure, no better than much cheaper alternatives. A Rolex tells time just like a $50 watch. A Birkin carries your phone and your keys just like a $200 bag. A Loro Piana jacket keeps you warm just like a $150 one. And yet, the global luxury market is worth over $350 billion. It keeps growing in recessions, in pandemics, and in downturns that wipe out ordinary consumer spending. Why? Why does the price go up and the desire go up with it? The obvious answer is quality. The craftsmanship is exceptional. The materials are rare. The artisans trained for years. Hermes themselves will tell you this. Their leadership insists the prices reflect genuine labor and genuine craft, not manufactured prestige. And they are not entirely wrong. The quality is real. But quality alone cannot explain a 100 times price difference. It cannot explain why making a product cheaper would reduce demand rather than increase it. Quality is the justification. It is not the reason. To find the real reason, we have to go back roughly 1700 years, to Rome in the 300s AD. There was a color called Tyrian purple. To make it, you needed thousands of sea snails. To get a single gram of dye, you had to crush around 12,000 of them. The process was so expensive that only the emperor and the richest elites could afford it. And Rome actually passed laws restricting who could wear it. Not because purple was warmer, not because it was more comfortable. People wanted it for exactly one reason. Most people could not have it. Fast forward to Renaissance Europe. Wealthy nobles wore giant collars, oversized sleeves, and layers of fabric that made basic tasks harder. The impracticality was the point. If your clothes made work difficult, that meant you did not have to work. Then, in 1899, economist Thorstein Veblen finally gave a name to the pattern: conspicuous consumption. Buying expensive things partly because other people can see you doing it. And that single idea explains a lot more than most people realize. Economists have a term for what Veblen described: a Veblen Good, a product where raising the price increases demand. Most things work the opposite way. Luxury breaks that rule completely. But the interesting question is why? What is happening in the human brain that causes this? Three things, all running at the same time. The first one is almost embarrassingly simple. When something is hard to get, people want it more. You already know this feeling. A restaurant with empty tables feels ordinary. A restaurant with a 6-month waiting list feels important before you even taste the food. Luxury brands do not just use scarcity, they build it into the business. They make less than demand, not as a temporary trick, but as the permanent system. And that changes something deeper than price. It changes perception. The second thing is signal value. A signal only works if it is hard to fake. If everyone can send it, it stops meaning anything. A $10,000 bag says something very specific. It says the buyer paid a price most people genuinely cannot. The price is not a side effect of the product. The price is the signal. The third thing is identity. People are not only buying leather. They are buying the feeling of being the kind of person who owns that leather. The bag is almost irrelevant. The identity it grants is the transaction. And that is why luxury is so hard to resist. It does not just work on logic, it works on social instinct. We are not spreadsheet machines. We are social animals. And status still matters. A lot. So how do luxury brands actually turn this psychology into money? They start with supply. If Hermes wanted to sell far more Birkins tomorrow, they probably could. They choose not to. Less supply is not a production problem. It is the model. Then they make access difficult. You cannot simply click a button and buy a Birkin online. You cannot walk into any store and grab one. That difficulty becomes part of the value. And they protect the value aggressively. Some luxury brands have even destroyed unsold inventory rather than discounted. Because the moment a luxury item becomes easy to get or cheap to buy, it starts losing the signal people were paying for in the first place. The object may still look the same, but the meaning changes. And in luxury, meaning is the real product. The Birkin is probably the cleanest example of this. It starts at a very high price. Some versions resell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And for many buyers, money alone is not enough. The brand turns the purchase into a game of access. That game makes the bag feel even more exclusive. Rolex does something similar. Specific models stay hard to get. The secondary market fills the gap. Some watches sell above retail. So even when someone can afford the watch, they still may not be able to simply walk in and buy one. That is the point. Luxury is not just expensive. It is controlled frustration. Money can get you almost anything in the world. These brands have figured out how to make you feel like it is not quite enough. Here is the weirdest part though. The richest people often do not want the loudest logos. As luxury gets more expensive, the branding often gets smaller. That creates two different kinds of luxury. Loud luxury, big logos, easy to read patterns, branding that anyone can recognize. And quiet luxury, minimal branding, unbranded leather, cashmere that only insiders would notice. And this is where it gets really interesting. The highest status signal is often the one most people cannot read. That is the final level, not being seen by everyone, being recognized only by the right people. So why do people pay $10,000 for a bag that costs $100 to make? Because the remaining $9,900 is not paying for better leather. It is paying for something much older. The same thing Roman emperors bought with purple robes. The same thing nobles bought with impractical clothing. The same thing people have bought for centuries: status, recognition, and membership. The feeling of having something others cannot. Luxury brands did not invent that. They inherited it, they studied it, and then they built a business around it. The materials changed, the logos changed, the prices changed, but the game stayed exactly the same. And once you see that, it becomes very difficult to look at luxury the same way again.